what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. This is the Bookish Life of Laura. I am Laura, and today I'm talking about my most anticipated reads of 2020. Okay, so there are a whole lot of really good sounding books coming out this year. Like, I'm so excited for all of these insanely cool new releases coming out. There have already been a ton that I've read so far that have been amazing. So this has just so far been a really good year for new releases, and I cannot wait for the ones that I have to talk about today. Oh my god, they all sound amazing. So I'm just gonna get right into it because I have like a pretty long list. I think I have like 17 books to talk about today, something like that. And that's not even all of them. That's just the ones that I'm like looking forward to the most. I'll start with the ones that have already been released and that I just haven't had the chance to get to yet. Starting with The Storm of Life by Amy Rose Capetta. This is the sequel to The Brilliant Death, which I read in 2018. I have been absolutely dying to get my hands on a copy of this book. I've been like watching every website to see if the price went down at all. I've been like trying to get a hand on it from my library. So many things, but I finally just caved and I bought the book full price, and it's currently on its way to me and I can't wait. I'm so excited. This book follows two Strega. One is mentoring the other as she learns how to use her powers more, and also tries to save her mafia leader father from being killed by other mafia leaders. Basically, it is a romance. The love interest is also genderqueer, and it's wonderful, and our main character is also discovering that she might be genderqueer as well. This is set in a Italian-inspired fantasy world, and it's one of my absolute favorite YA fantasy worlds, like literally ever. It's stunning. It's so beautiful. And this one came out on January 28th. Next up is When We Were Magic by Sarah Gailey. I honestly don't really know the plot of this one very well, but I do know that it's teen witches and it's really gay. So, perfect. Then we have Sword in the Stars, also by Amy Rose Capetta as well as Cori McArthy. This is the sequel to Once and Future, which I read last year, I want to say, and adored it. I absolutely love this book. It's very, very fast paced. It's very dramatic and over the top and like kind of silly, which is why I love it. Like, that's why a lot of people kind of give it lower ratings. I think they were expecting a more serious tone, but this one is just like it's very like space opera-y, you know? Like, it's just really over the top and ridiculous, and I love that about it. It's just a lot of fun and very, very fast paced, and also super gay. Like, everybody is queer and it's wonderful. And I've been waiting for the sequel for so long, and it came out on April 7th and I still haven't got a copy of it. For some reason I can only find it in paperback on like Amazon and everything, which is weird. But I have the first book in hardback, so I want the second one in hardback too, so my heart is broken. I just want this book. Then we have Bonds of Brass by Emily Skrutskie. I also have no idea what this one's about, but it's by Emily Skrutskie, and she is one of my top 5 favorite authors of all time, so I will read literally anything that she publishes. But this one, I do know that it's a sci-fi, and I believe it's a male-male romance. I can't wait for it. And this one came out on April 7th as well. And now for the books that have not been released yet. The first one being Meet Cute Club by Jack Harbon. This one is an adult contemporary romance following a man who runs a book club where they read a lot of really steamy paranormal romances. And the employee at his local bookstore is always laughing at him for it and like making fun of them. So as a result, these two don't really get along, and they just don't like each other until this employee asks to join the book club, and sparks fly from there. I cannot wait for it. It sounds adorable, and I've been really looking for more like queer adult romance. Please give me all of your queer adult romance recommendations because I need more of it in my life. It's just, oh, I can't wait for this book. And this one comes out on May 5th. Next up, also on May 5th, is Network Effect by Martha Wells, which is book 5 in the Murderbot Diaries series. And this one, like all the rest, follows our adorably hilarious Murderbot on his journeys across the galaxy as he just so desperately wants to find a quiet corner to go and watch his soap operas and be left alone. Then we have House of Dragons by Jessica Cluess. This one comes out on May 12th. I actually just pre-ordered it like 10 minutes ago. It sounds amazing. Let me just read you the tagline and you'll see why I'm so hyped for this book, okay? 5 royal houses will hear the call to compete in the trial for the dragon throne. A liar, a soldier, a servant, a thief, and a murderer will answer it. Who will win? It's described as 3 Dark Crowns meets The Breakfast Club, and that just sounds like exactly what I need in my life right now. So May 12th really can't come soon enough. And then we have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne, which also comes out on May 12th. I doubt I need to go into this one very much, but just in case you somehow don't know what it is, it's the prequel to the Hunger Games series, following the man who will become President Snow as he mentors his very first tributes for the 10th annual Hunger Games. And then on May 26th, we have Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner. This is another adult contemporary romance, but this time it is female-female, and I'm jumping for joy over this. So it's about a celebrity who is photographed making her assistant laugh on the red carpet, and rumors start to fly that these two are dating, and so they're trying really hard to squash these rumors before they get out of hand, but they actually end up falling in love. And it's really cute. I can't wait for it. It sounds absolutely adorable, and oh, I just really need more sapphic romance in my life. Like, that's all that I want. That's it. Again, give me your recommendations for queer romance novels in the comments. I beg of you. On June 1st, we have Queen of Coin and Whispers by Helen Corcoran. I'm not entirely sure what this is about, but I know that it has to do with a queen, a kingdom, and there is a sapphic romance, so obviously I'm going to read it, and I cannot wait for it. Next up on June 2nd is This Coven Won't Break by Isabel Sterling. This is a sequel to These Witches Won't Burn that came out, I think, last year. I loved it. It was really, really good. It's queer witches in an urban setting. I love it. Can't wait. And then on July 7th, we have You Had Me at Ola by Alexis Daria. Oh, surprising no one. This is another adult contemporary romance novel. This follows 2 telenovela stars who are just starting their roles in a new show that could really take off their careers. Unfortunately, the 2 characters don't really have any chemistry, and they're meant to be the love interests on the show, but they just don't have any spark. And so they decide to start hanging out on their own time to rehearse lines and get to know each other to try and make their roles better. And I'm sure you can figure out what happens from there. And then on August 11th, we have Stardaughter by Shweta Thakrar. This one sounds absolutely incredible, and I cannot believe that I haven't been hearing more people talk about it. It's inspired by Hindu mythology and follows the daughter of a mortal and a star. Like, what? That sounds amazing. I've never seen a fantasy like this before, and I think it's going to be absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. August 18th will bring us The Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwrecks by Mackenzie Lee. This is book 3 in the Montague siblings series, and this one will follow the youngest sibling of Monty and Felicity, and takes place, I believe, several years after the events of the first and second book. On September 29th, A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik will be released, and this one is about a really intense magic school where your only options are to succeed or die. It's got magic, it's got monsters, it's set in a boarding school. What else could you possibly ask for? Second from last book, we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, which comes out on October 6th. This takes place in 1700s France and follows a girl who makes a deal where she will live forever, but she's now cursed that every person that she ever meets for the rest of eternity will forget who she is. However, after 300 years of this, she meets somebody in a dusty old bookstore who remembers her name. Dun dun dun! And then finally on October 13th, we have Swamp Thing Twin Branches, written by Maggie Stiefvater and illustrated by Morgan Bean. This is another book where I really don't know the plot of it, but I saw Maggie Stiefvater's name on it, so I added it to my TBR. Yeah. I know that it's a graphic novel, and I assume it has to do with a swamp-like monster. No idea. We'll find out though. And that is it for my most anticipated reads of 2020. There are, of course, a whole lot more. I think my shelf on Goodreads for 2020 releases that I haven't read yet or that aren't released yet is like over 60 books long. So there are a lot coming out this year that I can't wait for, but these ones are like my most hyped ones and the ones that I think will be absolutely incredible. So I cannot wait for these, and hopefully waiting for these books will make this time passing in quarantine feel a little bit faster. So at least we'll always have books to look forward to, right? But that is it for today, so thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world and whatever you're getting up to. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!